Welcome back to Capitol Review. We're continuing our conversation on Congress beginning their new session. Joining us now is Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey. Congressman, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I know it's early, but how is the new session going so far?
Well, we haven't done much. We did swear in a new speaker, and, I guess there's some progress there. It took 15 tries from the Republicans 2 years ago. This time it only took a few hours, and, President-elect Trump making calls to lean on Republicans to support Mike Johnson for speaker, but at least it did get done. We're in the process of forming committees now, but hopefully we'll get started soon and get some real legislation moving forward.
You talk about the importance of getting real legislation moving forward. Many called the previous Congress one of the least productive in decades. Are you optimistic, Congressman, that this session can be more productive?
Well, it'd be easier for it to be more productive, that's for sure, because the last Congress really was probably the least productive in a century. Gotta say, though, I'm concerned about the president and sort of what he's focusing on right now. Buying Greenland, the Panama Canal, renaming the Gulf of Mexico. I don't think that's the stuff the American people care about. The Republicans won the election. I'm not an election denier, but they won it based on trying to do things, with respect to the economy and making it work for regular people. None of those things deal with any of those issues. So I'm hoping we can get to things that deal with gas prices, groceries, inflation, and the like. I think a lot of those things were moving in the right direction under President Biden, but there's more work to be done, and we need these guys to step up and continue moving it in that direction.
You talked about the incoming president and his strong language. Are you expecting the temperature to change once the new administration is in place?
Yeah, it's probably going to get hotter than it currently is. I think right now there's a bit of a honeymoon going on for the president, and the Congress is still getting back in session and getting settled, but he's got some nominees. He's got some that'll fly through. Marco Rubio, I think, was going to be confirmed as Secretary of State, and rightly so. I disagree with policies there, but I think he's certainly qualified. But he's got nominees, in the Gates kind of category that could get knocked off, certainly for the Department of Defense and some of the national security leadership. And we need good, strong, experienced leaders in those areas now, because the world's a very dangerous place, and we need to be ready and prepared and have leaders who are ready to step into that fray right now.
Congressman, talk about some of the areas where Republicans and Democrats can work together beyond infrastructure.
Immigration, I think, would be one. As you may recall, there was a bipartisan Senate bill that was moving forward last summer. There was hopes that could make it through and get passed. Then presidential candidate Donald Trump told House Republicans to kill it. They did. But I think it's important for us to pick that back up. They ran on the issue of immigration. I think there are clearly issues that need to be addressed there in a comprehensive way. Let's move forward with that. And then, as I mentioned, the economy. Some of the things the president has proposed, the president-elect, like tariffs on some of our best trading partners, will really just make things worse, especially with respect to Canada and Mexico and some of these other countries, because those tariffs will just get passed on as higher prices to consumers here, and that'll make for tougher situations for working class Americans. So we need to do some things on those fronts, and we need to get going sooner rather than later.
Congressman Glenn Ivey, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.